guys. So I am starting this new series called 40 and Figuring It Out. If you guys have seen any of my other videos, you know I'm very sensitive when it comes to age. I have not said my age in so long because I've just been kind of, I don't know, going through a midlife crisis, getting ready to turn 40, but I have decided to accept my age. I have decided to embrace my age, okay? Well, embrace it as much as I can, because there are some days where I wake up and I'm still like, what the hell? I'm 40? When did this happen? So, I think my biggest issue with turning 40 was the fact that I was still figuring life out. When I was younger, I thought that, you know, by the time you were 40, you would have all of these things. And I had none of them. And I thought, you know, going up to turning 40 as the years passed by, 35, 36, 37, 38, I was like, I'm not going to have a crisis when I'm turning 40. I mean, I'm living my dreams. I'm living my passion. I'm doing exactly what I love to do every day. I'm making movies. I'm acting. I'm raising my kids. And then 38 came. And 39 came, and I feel like I had a meltdown. You hear me, guys? A meltdown. I just couldn't figure out what was going on. So as part of my therapy, I figured I would share my experience, because I'm sure there's other 30-somethings, almost 40-year-olds, or 40-year-olds who are going through the same thing. On the eve of my 40th birthday, I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. It was just horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And then I got over myself, and I realized, hell, I still got a lot of life left to live, and the things that I have not accomplished yet, it's just time to accomplish them. That's all. In this series, we're going to talk about some things that have really affected me. We're going to talk about some things that I'm sure other 40-year-olds are trying to figure out. We're going to talk about life after 39. I don't even want to say it. Life after 39. So, first of all, we're going to talk about the things that you wish you told your 30-year-old self, okay? Forget your 20-year-old self. Like, I say this all the time. I would not ever want to go back to my 20s. Not at all. Especially not in this digital world. I don't need Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, none of that stuff. I'm so glad I didn't have that when I was in my 20s. So I definitely don't want to go back to my 20s. In my 30s, it was just, I don't know, such a time of transition. Man, I call my 30s Rise and Regret. That's what the chapter of my 30s, Rise and Regret, because there were a lot of areas where I experienced a lot of success, and I had experiences, and you know, I was rising up. And then there were a lot of areas where for the first time I felt myself like dealing with fear and insecurities and people pleasing and all of this stuff. Like, I didn't have that when I was younger, but it seems like it plagued my 30s. And now, as I enter my 40s, I don't give a So we're going to talk about what you would tell your 30-year-old self. And we're also going to talk about fashion, guys. Fashion in your 40s. What does it look like? It doesn't look like Fashion Nova. It doesn't. But what does it look like, okay? I don't want to look like an old woman. I mean, look at me now. I'm wearing birds and flowers. Birds and flowers. So we're going to talk about fashion. I'm going to do a fashion haul, a fall fashion haul. I have a stylist who's coming through to help me because left to my own devices, guess what we're going to have? Birds and flowers. So we're going to talk about fashion. We're going to talk about makeup. I love makeup. However, I believe the days of high contour, heavy brows, and whatever the new trend is are gone. I just don't think that we need to beat our face like we're 20 years old anymore. But what looks good? Because I definitely don't want to be bland. I know you don't want to be bland either. I want to be fabulous. I mean, I feel more confident at 40 than I've ever felt before. So we're going to talk about makeup tips. We're also going to talk about weight loss. So while we're on this topic, I just started the Keto Diet. It's been about a week, and so far so good. I'm not experiencing any major weight loss, but I am experiencing some weight loss, and I'm documenting that. Hopefully I'll release those videos soon. But weight loss when you are in your 40s and maybe you have some other ailments to think about, and also working out. What are some fun workouts? Like pole dancing is a great workout, especially when you're 40 and fabulous. Chair aerobics, all that stuff. Striptease, great workouts. We're going to talk all about that. Weight loss. How do you lose weight when you are older than 39? We're going to talk about your sex drive. Did you guys hear that? That's what we're going to talk about. There's some myths out there. Let's see. Let's see if they're true. Let's see if they're not true. But it's a big factor. At least it's a big factor in my life. We definitely have seen a change. We're also going to talk about this word that I despise. Cougar. People just throw that word around without any care about how it makes a person feel. I don't want to be a cougar. What does that even mean? I can't help it if people who are a lot younger than me are the ones that I have interest in. I can't help it. I went from dating people a lot older than me, a lot older than me, to constantly being hit up by people a lot younger than me. Does that make me a cougar? I don't want to be a cougar. And what does that even mean? Should that be something we're proud of? What technically is cougar status? I don't know, but we're going to talk about it. Dating after 40. If you are happily married or happily in a relationship, God bless you. I'm sure we have some things to talk about as well. But if you are not, if you are still looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right, if you've been through several marriages, what do you do? What do you do? Tinder? Really? Tinder? Let me tell you, I have a love-hate relationship with Tinder. I have set up a Tinder account 4 times. Count them. 4. I have deleted it every time. I'm just not built for it. I'm not built for it. So how do you date after 40? 40 and figuring out. If you know, please tell me. I need to know. We're also going to talk about skincare. My skin has changed tremendously. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about career shifts. What if you've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years and now you want something different? You want to go back to school. You want to sit in class with a bunch of 18-year-olds? That would give me a headache. Absolutely. I teach 18-year-olds. I don't want to sit in a class with them. Online education, maybe you're going into something that is completely new and you feel some fear. How do you shift your career without feeling guilty because of maybe your obligations as a mom, as a wife, or just feeling plain insecure? But we're going to talk about career shifts. Do you. Don't worry about anybody else. And we're also going to talk about a topic that is very sensitive to me, and that is pregnancy. I have been blessed to have a wonderful son who is 16, and I also have a beautiful daughter who is 10. My son is biological and my daughter is not. And I want to experience childbirth again. However, I tried when I was in my early 30s and I struggled with fertility issues, and now I'm thinking, has my time passed? Even if I could get pregnant, do you have a baby after 40? What'd that be like? Tell me. I don't know, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the ups, the downs, the pros, the cons. We're just going to have an open discussion. So guys, if you are over 39, and even if you're not, and you would love to take part in this series, 40 and Figuring Out, please subscribe. Please head over to my Instagram at OnyxKeisha, hashtag 40 and Figuring It Out, hashtag 40 and Figuring It, hashtag 40 and Figuring It Out, because I know I'm 40 and I'm sure as hell trying to figure it out. Thank you so much, guys. Look forward to my first video in this series. I'm just so excited about it, guys. So excited. All right. Bye-bye.